Hi everyone, I'm Dina with Mills Family Gardening. Today is September 1st. Almost 2 weeks ago, we went on a vacation and we left our garden alone. We put everything on drip irrigation and our okra was growing fine and producing a lot of pods before we left. We harvested a lot from it. And then 12 days later, we came back from our vacation and our okra, of course, it was overgrown. It had a lot of large pods, like you can see on this okra. You can see how big these pods are. They're not edible. They're too hard to cut into. And so I left these pods on the okra so they would produce seeds. Right now, we're standing by Clemson spineless variety of okra, and you can see that this plant has a lot of overgrown pods, and so does this one. And I left them here on purpose just to see what happens to okra when you don't harvest from it for a long time, for about 2 weeks. So you can see that okra starts growing a lot of pods, and all these pods get larger and thicker. And this plant specifically is getting ready to produce more okra seeds. And some varieties of okra, when they start producing okra seeds, they stop growing new flowers. And if there's no new flowers on okra, that means there's not going to be any edible okra pods. So when we came back from our vacation a few days ago, this is what all of our okra looked like. It was not edible. We couldn't do anything with it. And so there were 3 things that I did with our okra. The first thing was I trimmed off all the overgrown pods because they're not edible. I'm not going to keep them on the plant like this. And what the plant is left with is this top branch. You can see how small it is, and you can see these little flower buds. They're not growing much because the plant was in the seed production mode. But you can see little flowers, and I think if we give it more time, a week or a couple of weeks, all these flowers will start growing again because all the energy will go into the production of the flowers now that we removed all the overgrown seed pods. And so I think in a few weeks it will start growing flowers again, and if there is flowers, that means there'll be new okra. So I can do the same thing with this plant. I can remove all these overgrown pods and let these tiny flowers to hopefully grow and produce more edible okra for us. The second thing that you can do with your overgrown okra is find some shoots, side shoots that are growing lower on the main branch. If you come closer, you can see that this branch also stopped growing new flowers. It had a lot of overgrown pods here that I removed already, so the branch is bare. But if you look at this branch, this shoot is actually a side shoot from this main branch. You can see that it's connected to it lower, but on the side shoot you can see that it has some additional side branches that are starting to grow, like here and also down there, and there is another one. So if your overgrown okra stopped growing flowers on top, then you can simply find the side shoot and cut the main branch right above the side shoot, and then this will turn into the main branch and it will be growing new flowers. You can see that it already has tiny flowers, and if I give it another few days, it will start blooming and produce edible okra for us. And the third thing that I did with our overgrown okra is I kept some plants to produce seeds. For example, this one already has overgrown pods, and I'm just going to keep them on the plant. I know this plant is not going to produce any more flowers, but it will produce seeds. In about a month or a couple of months, these pods will turn brown, they will get dry, and then inside of them there will be a ton of seeds that I will be able to collect and save for next year, and then I'll plant those seeds next spring. This year we're growing 2 varieties of okra, Clemson spineless and also this burgundy okra. I planted these okras at the same time, and you can see that even though this okra does look overgrown, it has a lot of thick, hard pods, it still keeps producing new flowers. You can see a new flower there, and then there's a new flower, and this plant had a lot of overgrown pods also that I already removed. And you can see that this okra keeps producing new edible pods that are soft and tender, and we can use them in cooking. So it really depends on the variety of okra, how it responds to being overgrown. You can see that this okra is doing much better even though it has a lot of overgrown pods. I'm really impressed that This one still has this young pod, and then this one has a young pod that I will harvest today and cook them. And you can see that this one also, it used to have a lot of thick hard pods, and it still keeps producing flowers and then new pods. I like this burgundy okra so much that I think next year I will be growing more of this variety than Clemson spineless, because like I already said, it just keeps producing even though it has a lot of overgrown pods. And also, I'd like to keep these thick pods so that they would produce more seeds, and next year I can plant them in the spring. So it's important to try different varieties of okra or other vegetable plants. That way you can see which one produces better in different circumstances. And like I said, I'm really impressed with burgundy okra, and I'm definitely gonna keep growing it next year and the years to come. And that's all for now. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.